It is the end of 2025 and it is time to take a look at the best and worst of the home gym gear that I've checked out this year. Let's go. What's up guys, Kyle with HypertroFit.com, the best place to design your home gym and develop your training program. It has been a wild year in 2025. We've taken a look at a ton of different pieces of equipment. My gym is completely transformed, moving into a new house. We've added a ton of stuff to the basement, and I am here to tell you my best and worst of 2025. So let's get right into it. The first thing we're gonna start with is the best list. And number 5 on this list is the Temple of Gains Multiflight. This is something that I picked up without having ever tried, and it's quickly become one of my favorite pieces to use. It takes up almost no space, it's selectorized, so it's very easy to adjust your weights on the fly, and it is the greatest lateral raise and low pec fly that I've ever used, bar none. This is something that I'm using every single week in my training, one way or another, and the movements just can't be beat. If this is something that you're looking for, it is a little bit more on the expensive side, being $2,200-ish, but it's a premium machine, takes up very little space, and very easy to integrate into the home gym. So if you are on the fence about this one at all, it is an easy recommendation for me, and all of these on the best list certainly fit that bill. Number 4 on the best list is something you didn't see a video from me on this year, and that is the Kabuki Duffalo Bar. Now this isn't actually a new piece for me. I've had this for the last 4 years, but honestly for the last 3, I really didn't touch it. And that's just kind of because it was in an awkward storage location. It was hard for me to get off the wall in my old gym. With the new space that I have, I started to reintroduce it and really fell in love with this thing. Now that I'm squatting regularly again, being able to do this without the added stress on my elbows and shoulders, especially because I squat in a low bar position, has been amazing with the Duffalo Bar. This feels just like a regular squat. It does have a little bit of nuance and difference to it, but once you dial in the movement with this bar, it's phenomenal. Unfortunately, Kabuki's not around anymore, and they're not really making these bars, so you probably have to find one secondhand, but if you do, it's an incredible piece to have. Number 3 on the best list is the Rep by Pepin adjustable dumbbells, otherwise known as the Reppins. I picked these up earlier this year and they have been phenomenal. They're not perfect, but they are amazing for what they do. A very quick to adjust dumbbell that goes up to 125 pounds from a 10-pound start is phenomenal. I originally had power blocks. Those were great. They went up to 90 pounds, but I wanted something heavier. And I do have another set of adjustables that go up to 160 pounds, also Pepin Dumbbells. They're super HDs, but they're very slow to adjust. The Reppins blend everything together perfectly. So it's very quick to adjust, very heavy, feels like a dumbbell, ultra premium. I'm incredibly happy with these, and they get used all of the time, which is why they're sitting at number 3. Number 2 on the best list is the Dual Adonis. This thing is an absolute beast. It takes up the back end of the gym and is something I use every single time I train, a lot of times for multiple exercises in a training session. With the Dual Adonis, I have 6 cable attachment points. I always keep a lat pull down low row set up. I typically keep a tricep push down cable curl set up on the other side, and then I have the functional trainer trolleys for whatever I need in between. This thing has been an absolute dream. It comes with built-in storage in addition to everything else that it does, and for all of its abilities, it's actually pretty compact. It's a big machine, don't get me wrong, but being able to have so much packed into the footprint that it takes up along with the storage, this thing has been a dream come true and something that I use almost every time that I train. And number 1 on the list is a setup that I am very proud of coming up with, which is my chest supported row setup built out of the Rogue Pritchet pad, the Force6 Fitness T-bar row handle, and the Exponent Edge landmine jack. Set up a barbell in your landmine, attach all of this to your rack, and you suddenly have the best chest supported T-bar row setup that you can ask for. This is as good, if not better, than any machine standalone that you can buy. It's just perfect. A lot of this is coming from that Force6 handle because of how smooth it is, but the Rogue Pritchet pad is set up perfectly to be able to adjust to whatever height that you need. And then the Exponent Edge landmine jack just supports it all, allows you to easily rack and unrack the weight, adjust the load, and go for it. This is a phenomenal setup. And if you have a rack that can support this and the space that can support this, this is a no-brainer. Now, sometimes these components do go out of stock, so you might have to be looking to find what you need. But if you're able to piece it all together, you will not regret how good this feels. I have an entire video on this setup exactly if you want to dive into it more, but suffice it to say, this is my #1 for the year of 2025. And now on to the worst of 2025. And this was honestly kind of hard to put together because for the most part, just about everything that I've used in one way or another has been pretty good, if not really good. So we're gonna go through these. They're not all terrible, but they are kind of fun to react through. So number 5 on this list is the Evolpow leg press specifically. So if you didn't see it, I recently reviewed the Evolpow M2B all-in-one gym, which is a very budget all-in-one rack, Smith machine, functional trainer. And for the most part, it can get the job done for the right person. The one component that I really didn't like on this thing was the vertical leg press. You're essentially thumb screwing a leg press plate onto the Smith machine bar. This is metal on top of the knurled part of the bar. It's not super stable. It's not comfortable. It's just not good. So I really don't like that piece of the machine. Overall, the machine itself is honestly fine, especially for the price point and for the right person. But this one aspect of it, I really didn't like. So that's why it sits at number 5. Number 4 on this list is the hack squat depth on the RitFit Gazelle. This is a great machine, especially at the price point, and it's not a terrible depth out of the box, but it does need some work. And so what I did is I strapped some additional pads onto the shoulders, and that actually fixed the problem. So it's not a huge issue. Again, definitely not a deal breaker by any means. Overall, I think the machine is great, but the depth out of the box was not good. So that's why it found its way onto this list. Number 3 is the Dual Adonis, but not the machine itself. It's the build process. This is something that I did by myself, and it took me 14 hours over the course of 2 entire days. This was a process, let me tell you, and that's not even counting bringing this thing into the house out of the massive wooden crates on extended pallets. I don't have a walkout in my basement, so all of this is coming into the house, down the basement stairs, and then put together ×2. This was not fun, but as you already heard in my best list with the Dual Adonis being number 2, it was well worth it. But know that if you are going down the route of building an Adonis, much less 2 of them, it is going to be quite effortful to get this thing together. Number 2 on the worst list of 2025 is the Reppin's tight tolerances. And what I mean by this is they are not perfect, and one of the biggest problems with these dumbbells is that the weights can get wedged together. So when you are sliding the plate in and out, sometimes they get stuck. I've had a few sticky points in the 40-50 pound range where I've even had the plates kind of come up partially on the dumbbell and then fall off as I was pulling it out. And then on the flip side, racking them back into the rack, you can kind of get them wedged in and maybe even get them stuck, and you got to knock them off. This isn't something I deal with a ton, but it does happen, and it is one of the only problems that I have with these dumbbells. And it is kind of a big deal. Now, most of the time I'm not interacting with them like that, but if they had solved this problem, these would be perfect. Until that happens, this is the one blemish on the Reppins for me, and it's a big enough deal to include it at number 2 on this list. Now, number 1 on the worst of 2025. If you followed this channel, you probably already know where this is going. This has to go to none other than the Titan Fitness Quick Slide J-Hooks. One of my most anticipated products of 2025, and come to know it, once you put them on the rack, it completely destroys the finish because the J-Hooks slide up and down the upright metal on metal. There's no protection on the inside. I posted a video about these this summer. Titan took them off the website within 24 to 48 hours, and now you can no longer buy them. And it is such a shame because these honestly probably would have been number 1 on the best list had they done it properly. They are such a cool J-hook. They're rollers, they slide up and down the rack to whatever height that you need. They're super solid and they take no other inputs from the back to be stable. This is everything that you would want out of a roller J hook, you just need to protect the uprights tighten. So I really hope in 2026, we get the true refresh of these, the V2, and if we do, I will be the first person to tell you about them because I will be getting them as soon as they're available. No word on that yet, but trust me, it is on top of mind if those ever come back. So this is my best and worst of 2025. I would love to know what you guys think. If there's anything that you really loved this year or really hated this year, let me know in the comments. And I hope you guys enjoyed. I will be coming to you in 2026 with plenty more content just like this, and I will catch you in the new year.